5 years, it's not a long time, but it's enough time to change your life completely. Let me ask you a question. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Not where you'll end up by chance. No, I mean where you'll end up on purpose. You see, success isn't accidental, it's designed. It's the result of clear goals, consistent action, and unwavering discipline. Think about it. 5 years ago, where were you? What decisions did you make that brought you here today? Now imagine this. The choices you make starting today will determine where you'll be in 2025. Will you be living the life you've dreamed of? Or will you still be wishing for it? The next 5 years are going to pass whether you plan for them or not. So why not make them count? Why not decide right now to create a life you're proud of? Remember this, if you don't design your own life, someone else will. And guess what they've got planned for you? Not much. So let's start designing. Let's take the next 5 years and turn them into the most extraordinary years of your life. Let's figure out what you truly want and create a plan to achieve it. Because the future doesn't just happen, you build it. The 5-year vision, why it's crucial for success. Let me start by telling you something that may surprise you. Most people don't think about their future, at least not in the way they should. They drift through life, taking one day at a time, and when 5 years pass, they're exactly where they started, or worse, even further behind. But here's what I've learned. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't comes down to one simple thing: a vision. Not just any vision, though. The 5-year vision. Now, I know you've heard the phrase, you can't hit a target you can't see. But let me ask you, when was the last time you really looked at your target? When was the last time you took the time to sit down and ask yourself, where do I want to be in 5 years? 5 years is a crucial time frame. It's long enough to accomplish something significant, yet short enough to feel urgent. It's the sweet spot between a dream and a deadline. If you want to change your life, you need to begin with a vision that stretches over the next 5 years. Here's why this matters. Your future doesn't just happen by accident. The life you'll live in 5 years is the result of the decisions you make today. If you want to be in a better place 5 years from now, you need to start now. You need to begin creating the person you want to become and the life you want to live. So let's break it down. What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? Most people have never even asked themselves this question seriously. But let me tell you something. When you can see your future clearly, when you know exactly where you're going, you begin to move toward it. And that's when things start to happen. I want you to think about it. Imagine you're standing at the edge of your life 5 years from now. What do you see? What's different? Is your health in the best shape it's ever been? Are you financially free? Do you have the relationships you've always wanted? Have you made an impact on the world? Take a moment and really feel that. Now ask yourself, what are you doing today to make that vision a reality? I'm not talking about wishful thinking. I'm talking about getting specific. The clearer you get, the more your brain starts to focus on the details that matter. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful. You have to define what success looks like for you. One of the most powerful things I ever did was sit down and write out my own 5-year vision. It wasn't a quick exercise. It took time. But once I wrote it down, I couldn't ignore it. Every decision, every action, every thought had to align with that vision. And I'm telling you, it changed everything. Now you might be thinking, but Jim, what if things change in 5 years? What if I don't achieve everything I've planned? Let me tell you something. The future is always uncertain. Life will throw curveballs. You may not hit every goal, but the key is this. You'll be moving forward. And forward motion is always better than sitting still. 5-year vision gives you direction. It tells you where to focus, and it creates a sense of urgency. Here's a truth you need to understand. Your life won't change unless you decide to make it change. Change doesn't just happen because you wait for it. Change happens when you decide what you want and go after it. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you need an extraordinary vision. And the beauty of it is this. It's yours to create. No one else can tell you what your future should look like. You get to decide. But it's not enough to just have a vision. You need to work for it every day, every week, every month. You need to stay focused and disciplined, even when the road gets tough. Because when you can see the destination clearly, the challenges along the way don't seem so intimidating. So I challenge you right now to begin thinking about your 5-year vision. Get out a piece of paper, start writing. What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? How do you want to feel? What do you want to have accomplished? And here's the best part. When you have that vision, your entire life changes. You stop drifting. You stop waiting for things to happen. Instead, you begin making things happen. 5 years from now, you can look back and say, I made it. But it all starts with one thing: your vision. So I ask you again, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years? Take some time, be clear, be specific, and then get to work. Your future is waiting. The power of clarity, knowing what you truly want. Let me tell you something important. Clarity is everything. If you don't know exactly what you want, how can you expect to get it? Most people drift through life with vague ideas, wishing for success, wishing for happiness, but never truly defining what those words mean for them. But here's the truth. Success doesn't come from wishing. It comes from knowing exactly what you want and pursuing it with everything you've got. Now, it's easy to say, I want to be successful, or I want to be rich. But when you ask yourself, what does success really look like? And what does wealth really mean to me? That's when the magic begins. The clearer your goals, the clearer your path. When you have clarity, every decision becomes easier, every action more focused. Let's take a moment and think about that. What do you want? I mean, really think about it. Not what your parents want for you, not what society wants from you. What do you want? What does your ideal life look like? What do you want to feel every day? What do you want to have accomplished? Most people don't take the time to answer those questions with real specificity. They don't write it down. They don't see it in their mind's eye. They go through life responding to things instead of proactively creating their future. But when you take the time to get clear on what you want, something amazing happens. Your brain starts working on your behalf. Think of it like this. If you've ever used a GPS, you know that you can't get to your destination without entering the right address. If you don't type in a clear destination, the GPS can't help you. It's the same in life. If you don't have a clear destination, you'll wander aimlessly. You might get somewhere, but it won't be where you truly want to be. When I first started out, I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I had goals, but they were vague. I want to be successful. I want to be financially free. But it wasn't until I got specific that things began to change. I wrote down exactly what I wanted to achieve, not just in a year, but in 5 years. I got clear about the person I wanted to become and the life I wanted to create. And once I did that, things started falling into place. The power of clarity lies in its ability to focus your energy. When you're clear, you stop chasing every shiny object that comes your way. You stop saying yes to things that don't align with your goals. You begin to eliminate distractions. Every decision you make, every action you take becomes a step toward your destination. Here's a simple exercise you can do right now. Take out a piece of paper. Write down in as much detail as possible what you want in the next 5 years. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Be specific. What kind of success? What does it look like for you? Write it all down. Once you have that clarity, it's amazing what happens. Your subconscious mind will begin to work on your behalf. You'll find opportunities you never noticed before. You'll have the energy and motivation to do things you didn't think you could do. Clarity leads to action, and action leads to results. But let me caution you, don't expect it to be easy. Once you gain clarity, the road won't always be smooth. There will be challenges, there will be setbacks. But when you know exactly what you're working toward, those challenges don't feel so daunting. You've got a destination in mind, and every obstacle is just part of the journey. The other benefit of clarity is that it helps you prioritize. Most people spend their time doing things that don't move them closer to their goals. But when you're clear on what you want, you can say no to the distractions and yes to the things that really matter. You begin to guard your time, your energy, and your focus. So I ask you again, what do you really want? What does your ideal life look like? How will you feel when you've achieved your goals? Don't leave it to chance. Get clear, write it down. And once you do, I promise you this, you'll have the clarity and the drive to turn that vision into reality. Remember, success isn't magic. It's not about waiting for the right circumstances or the right moment. It's about getting clear on what you want and taking consistent action toward that goal. Clarity is the key that unlocks your potential, and when you have it, nothing can stop you. The foundation of success, setting goals that matter. Let's take a moment to talk about goals. Now, you've heard it a million times. Set goals. But let me ask you, how many of you have actually set the right goals? The kind that move the needle in your life. The ones that pull you towards success instead of leaving you stuck in place. You see, setting goals isn't just a feel-good exercise. It's the foundation of success. But not all goals are created equal. You can't just say, I want to lose weight, or I want to be successful. That's not a goal, that's a wish. A goal needs to be specific, measurable, and meaningful. And above all, it needs to matter to you deeply. Now, let's break this down a bit. A lot of people set goals that sound good on paper, but they're not truly aligned with their values, with what they truly want. You can't just set a goal because society says you should or because your neighbor is doing it. A goal needs to come from your heart. It needs to come from a deep desire to create something, to build something, to make a difference in your life and in the lives of others. I remember when I first started setting goals, they weren't the best, they were vague, and when things didn't go as planned, I'd get frustrated. But over time, I learned that setting the right goals is like laying the foundation for a house. If you don't set the right foundation, nothing else will stand. The entire structure will crumble. So, what does it mean to set goals that matter? Let me explain. First, your goals need to be tied to a clear vision of your life. If you don't know where you're going, how will you know what goals to set? You have to understand the why behind your goals. Why do you want to be successful? Why do you want to improve your health? Why do you want to build wealth? When your goals are tied to your deeper why, they become powerful. They become motivating. And they become the driving force behind every decision you make. The second part of goal setting is that your goals need to be actionable. You can't just set a goal and expect it to happen by itself. A goal without a plan is just a dream. You have to break that goal down into manageable steps. What do you need to do every day, every week, every month to move closer to that goal? You need to create a strategy, a plan of action. Without a plan, you're just spinning your wheels. But there's one more thing I want you to understand about goals. Goals should stretch you. They should challenge you. If your goals are too easy, you won't grow. You won't reach your full potential. It's important that your goals make you a little bit uncomfortable because it's only when you step outside of your comfort zone that you truly grow. It's when you push yourself to the limits that you discover what you're really capable of. And remember, your goals need to be measurable. How will you know when you've achieved them? I want to be healthy is not a measurable goal, but I want to lose 20 pounds in the next 6 months is. The more measurable your goals are, the more progress you'll see. And when you see progress, you get motivated to keep going. You see, the foundation of success isn't built on just any goals. It's built on goals that are meaningful, measurable, and challenging. Goals that align with your vision and drive you toward your purpose. And here's the thing. Goals are not static. They're not something you set once and forget about. No, goals need to be revisited. They need to evolve as you grow. As you accomplish one goal, you raise the bar and set an even higher one. So I encourage you, don't just set goals for the sake of setting them. Don't just go through the motions. Take the time to set goals that matter. Ask yourself, what is the next step? in the person I want to become? What do you need to do to move closer to your vision, to the life you truly want to create? If you do this, if you set goals that truly matter to you, you'll find that success isn't so far away. You'll find that every day becomes an opportunity to move forward. And when you reach that next level, you'll look back and see how far you've come. And you'll realize that the goals you set were the foundation of everything you've achieved. Remember, the journey to success begins with a single step. But that step has to be in the right direction. And that right direction starts with setting goals that matter. The discipline of daily action, building habits for the future. Let me tell you something about success. It's not about one big moment or one big action. No, it's about what you do every single day. Success is built on the habits you form and the discipline you show when no one is watching. It's about the small actions you take consistently, day in and day out, that add up to something extraordinary. You see, most people want to change their lives, but they want it to happen overnight. They think if they just take a massive leap once in a while, that will be enough. But here's the truth. Success isn't a giant leap. It's a series of small steps, taken with focus and consistency that compound over time. And those steps come from the habits you build. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're trying to build muscle. You don't go to the gym once, work out for hours, and expect to see immediate results. No, the real results come from showing up every day, doing the work, and pushing yourself to get better just a little bit every single time. It's the same with success in life. The most successful people I know didn't get there by taking shortcuts. They got there by doing the small things day in and day out. Whether it's reading, working out, meditating, or working on their business, they made it a habit. They built their lives around those actions, and over time, those actions paid off. Now here's the part where most people struggle: consistency. It's easy to get motivated for a few days, maybe even a few weeks. But over time, the excitement fades, life gets in the way, the distractions start piling up, and that's when most people give up. But here's the secret. Success is found in the discipline of doing the little things, even when you don't feel like it. That's why discipline is so important. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's waking up early, even when you're tired. It's doing the work, even when no one is watching. It's pushing through when it gets tough. You see, every action you take, no matter how small, is building your future. When you make the decision to take consistent action, to do the work every day, you're building a foundation that will pay off in the long run. And this is where most people miss the mark. They think that success is an event, but it's not. It's a process that requires daily effort and discipline. Here's an exercise for you. Write down one habit you want to build in your life, something that will move you closer to your vision. It could be something simple like reading for 30 minutes every day or exercising for 20 minutes. Whatever it is, commit to it. And then do it. Every single day, no matter what. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. You won't see immediate results, and that's okay. The key is to stay disciplined, to keep showing up. And over time, you'll start to see the difference. Those small actions will compound. You'll get better. You'll get stronger. You'll start seeing results in ways you never imagined. Remember this: your future is created by the actions you take today. If you want to build a life of success, you have to start today. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about creating the right habits, the right routines, and the right discipline to make sure that the actions you take today are leading you in the right direction. So ask yourself, what are you doing today to build the future you want? What habits are you creating right now that will determine your success in 5 years? The future doesn't happen by accident. It's created by the daily actions you take or don't take. You see, discipline isn't a punishment. It's a tool that gives you control over your future. And when you have control, you have the power to create the life you want. So take action today. Start building the habits that will make your future a reality. Because remember, the person you are tomorrow is shaped by what you do today. The power of belief, turning dreams into reality. Let me tell you something fundamental about success. It starts in the mind. It begins with belief. Without belief, there's no foundation. Without belief, there's no progress. You see, your mind is a powerful thing. It can work for you or it can work against you. What you believe about yourself, about your abilities, and about your future, those beliefs shape everything. Now let me ask you, do you believe that your dreams are possible? Truly believe it? Because if you don't, you'll never put in the effort. You'll hesitate, doubt yourself, and stop before you even start. But when you do believe, when you truly believe, something incredible happens. You start to take action. You start to see opportunities. And most importantly, you start to turn those dreams into reality. Here's a truth I want you to remember. You don't need to know how it's going to happen. You just need to believe that it can happen. Once you believe, you'll start to figure out the how along the way. But belief comes first. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have achieved great things. Do you think they started their journey with all the answers? Of course not. They started with a belief that they could create something better, a belief that their effort would pay off, a belief that they were capable of achieving more. But belief isn't just wishful thinking. It's not sitting back and hoping for the best. No, belief is active. It's powerful. When you believe, you take action. You don't wait for the perfect moment, you create it. You don't sit on the sidelines. You step into the game. That's the power of belief. Here's another thing to consider. Belief isn't always easy. Life will test your belief. You'll face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But those are the moments when belief matters the most. Anyone can believe when things are going well. But the real question is, can you believe when things are tough? Can you hold on to your belief when the odds seem stacked against you? The good news is, belief is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. You build belief by taking small steps, by proving to yourself that you're capable. Every time you achieve a goal, no matter how small, your belief grows. Every time you push through a challenge, your belief gets stronger. And over time, that belief becomes unshakable. Let me share an important principle. The way you see yourself matters. If you see yourself as someone who's capable, someone who's deserving of success, someone who has what it takes, that belief will guide your actions. But if you see yourself as someone who's not good enough, someone who's destined to fail, that belief will hold you back. So the question is, how do you see yourself? You have to start believing in the person you want to become. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. You have to see yourself as the kind of person who can achieve those big dreams, the kind of person who deserves success, happiness, and fulfillment. Because if you don't believe it, no one else will. One of the best ways to build belief is through visualization. Take a moment every day to visualize the life you want. Picture yourself achieving your goals, living your dreams, and becoming the person you want to be. The more you visualize, the more real it becomes in your mind. And once it feels real in your mind, you'll start to make it real. Another key to building belief is surrounding yourself with the right people. If you spend your time with people who doubt you, who bring you down, who tell you that your dreams are impossible, it's going to be hard to believe in yourself. But if you surround yourself with people who support you, who encourage you, who believe in you even when you're struggling, that belief will grow. So, what's the lesson here? If you want to turn your dreams into reality, you have to start with belief. You have to believe that it's possible. You have to believe in yourself. And then you have to back that belief with action. Because belief without action is just a dream. But belief with action, that's how you create a life of success and fulfillment. Remember, the world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you believe you're capable of achieving. So believe big, dream big, and then take the steps to make it happen. Because when you truly believe, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. Mastering your time. Every hour counts. Let me tell you one of the greatest lessons I ever learned. Time is life. How you use your time is how you live your life. Every hour counts, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. That's why mastering your time is one of the most important disciplines you can develop. Now, here's the thing about time. It's fair. It's the one thing we all get in equal measure. Whether you're rich or poor, young or old, we all get 24 hours in a day. But the difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is how they use those hours. Successful people understand this. Time is a resource, and it's more valuable than money. You can lose money and make it back, but you can't make back time. Once it's spent, it's gone. So the question is, how are you spending your time? Are you investing it wisely? Or are you wasting it on things that don't matter? Most people live their lives reacting to whatever comes their way. They let other people, distractions, and circumstances dictate their time. But let me tell you, if you don't take control of your time, someone else will. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to take charge of your day. You have to become the master of your time. The first step to mastering your time is understanding where it goes. Have you ever tracked your time? It's an eye-opening experience. Spend a day or two writing down everything you do, and you'll quickly see how much time is spent on things that don't matter. Things like scrolling through your phone, watching TV, or saying yes to commitments that don't serve your goals. Once you know where your time is going, you can start making changes. You can prioritize. You can eliminate. You can focus. Because here's the truth. You can't do everything. But you can do what matters most. Here's a principle I want you to remember. The 80/20 rule. It says that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. In other words, there are a few key activities that create the majority of your success. Your job is to identify those activities and spend more time on them. For example, if your goal is to grow your business, what are the most important actions you can take? Is it building relationships with clients? Developing a new product? Improving your skills? Focus on those activities, and then eliminate or delegate the rest. Another key to mastering your time is planning. You need a plan for your day, your week, your month. Because without a plan, it's too easy to get off track. Start every day by asking yourself, what are the most important things I need to accomplish today? Write them down, and then make them a priority. But here's the trick. Don't just plan your work. Plan your rest, too. Plan time for family, for exercise, for hobbies. Because if all you do is work, you'll burn out. And burnout is the enemy of productivity. Balance is key. One of the most powerful tools you can use to master your time is a schedule. Block out time for your most important tasks and stick to it. Treat your schedule like an appointment you can't miss. Because when you commit to a schedule, you take control of your time. And when you take control of your time, you take control of your life. Now let's talk about distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Your phone, your email, social media, they're all competing for your attention. But if you let yourself get distracted, you'll lose focus. And when you lose focus, you lose time. So what can you do? Create boundaries. Turn off notifications. Set specific times to check your email. Limit your time on social media. And most importantly, learn to say no. Because every time you say yes to something that doesn't matter, you're saying no to something that does. Here's the bottom line. Time is your most precious resource, and how you use it will determine your future. So don't waste it. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Be intentional, be disciplined, and most of all, be focused. Remember, every hour counts. Every day is a chance to move closer to your goals. So make the most of it. Take control of your time, and when you do, you'll not only achieve more, you'll live a life of purpose, balance, and success. The law of association. Who you surround yourself with matters. Let me tell you something profound. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a moment. The people you surround yourself with have a tremendous impact on your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately, your success. The law of association says this: you rise or you fall to the level of the company you keep. If you spend your time with people who are constantly complaining, making excuses, and living below their potential, it's only a matter of time before you start doing the same. But if you associate with people who are driven, ambitious, and positive, they will pull you up. So, ask yourself this question: who are the 5 people I spend the most time with? And more importantly, are they helping me become the person I want to be? Or are they holding me back? Here's the truth. If you want to succeed, you need to be intentional about the relationships you build. You need to seek out people who challenge you to grow, who inspire you to do more, who believe in your potential. Because iron sharpens iron. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Jim, what if I'm surrounded by people who aren't going anywhere? What if I'm stuck in an environment that's dragging me down? Well, let me tell you, you don't have to cut people out of your life entirely. But you do need to limit your exposure. Here's how you do it. Spend more time with people who lift you up, and less time with those who drag you down. And when you're with the latter, be strong. Don't let their negativity influence you. Instead, be the one to influence them. Be the example of what's possible. And let me tell you, association isn't just about people. It's also about ideas. The books you read, the videos you watch, the conversations you engage in, all of these shape your mindset. If you're feeding your mind with negativity, it will reflect in your life. But if you're filling it with wisdom, positivity, and inspiration, you'll start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. And now, that's why I always encourage people to invest in personal development. Read books that inspire you. Listen to mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. Attend seminars. Surround yourself with greatness, even if it's through a page or a recording. Let me share a simple story to illustrate this point. Imagine 2 gardens. One is surrounded by rich, fertile soil, watered regularly and bathed in sunlight. The other is surrounded by dry, cracked earth, with little water and no sunlight. Which garden will thrive? The answer is obvious. And just like those gardens, the environment you place yourself in will determine how much you grow. But here's the good news. You get to choose your environment. You get to decide who you spend time with, what you focus on, and what you allow into your mind. It's a choice. And it's a choice that will shape your future. Let's take it a step further. Think about the kind of person you want to become in 5 years. Now ask yourself, are the people in my life helping me move in that direction? If not, it's time to make some changes. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Sometimes making these changes can feel uncomfortable. It might even feel lonely at times. But let me tell you, it's worth it. Because the right associations will accelerate your growth. They'll open doors you never thought possible. And here's something else to keep in mind. Be the kind of person others want to associate with. Be the one who inspires, who encourages, who lifts others up. When you become that person, you'll naturally attract people who do the same. Remember this, success isn't just about what you know or what you do. It's about who you surround yourself with. The right people will challenge you, support you, and help you become the best version of yourself. So, choose wisely. As you move forward, pay close attention to your associations. Evaluate them regularly, and always ask yourself, is this relationship helping me grow, or is it holding me back? Because the people in your life will either multiply your success or divide it. So make the choice today. Surround yourself with greatness. Build relationships that inspire you. And when you do, you'll discover that the path to success becomes clearer, brighter, and so much more rewarding. The power of personal growth, becoming more to achieve more. Let me ask you something. If you want more, how do you get it? More success, more wealth, more happiness? How do you attract it? The answer, my friends, lies in one of the most fundamental principles of success. If you want more, you have to become more. This is the essence of personal growth. Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. The question isn't, can I achieve my goals? The question is, can I grow into the kind of person who achieves those goals? You see, life is not static, it's dynamic, and it's built on this incredible law. Everything you want is already out there. The opportunities, the resources, the connections, they all exist. The question is, are you the kind of person who can seize them? Let's talk about this idea of growth. Growth starts with awareness. You have to take a good, honest look at where you are. Ask yourself, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Where am I excelling and where am I falling short? Self-awareness is the foundation of all progress. Once you know where you are, the next step is to set a vision for who you want to become. Picture the best version of yourself 5 years from now. What does that person look like? How do they think, act, and feel? Now, here's the hard part. Growth requires discipline. It requires consistency. You can't grow into a better version of yourself by doing the same things you've always done. You have to stretch yourself, push yourself, get uncomfortable. And let me tell you, growth doesn't happen overnight. It's not a quick fix. It's a daily process. You don't wake up one day suddenly transformed. You grow by reading one chapter, making one better decision, taking one small action, day after day after day. Think of it like planting a seed. When you plant it, nothing happens at first. You water it, you nurture it, and still, there's no visible sign of progress. But beneath the surface, that seed is growing roots, and eventually, it breaks through the soil and begins to grow. Personal growth works the same way. It starts slow, but if you stick with it, the results will amaze you. Let me share with you one of the greatest benefits of personal growth. It raises your value. Imagine for a moment you're a $5 person trying to achieve a $50 result. It won't work. But if you grow into a $50 person, the results will naturally come. And here's another truth. Growth is contagious. When you commit to becoming better, you inspire those around you to do the same. You become a leader, a beacon of possibility. People will see your transformation and think, if they can do it, so can I. Now let's talk about the tools of personal growth. Books, seminars, mentorship. These are your tools. They're your investment in yourself. And let me tell you, the return on that investment is priceless. Every book you read, every new skill you learn, every new perspective you gain, it compounds over time. But let me caution you, growth isn't always easy. It requires humility. It means admitting you don't know everything. It means being willing to fail, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. Growth is messy, but it's worth it. One of the most powerful tools for personal growth is reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? How did I grow? What can I do better tomorrow? Reflection turns experience into insight, and insight into progress. Now, let me give you a challenge. Commit to becoming just 1% better every day, just 1%. It doesn't sound like much, but over time, it adds up. In 1 year, you'll be 365% better. That's the power of small, consistent growth. As we close this part, remember this. Success is not about having more. It's about becoming more. Your life will only improve when you improve. So make a commitment today. Commit to growth. Commit to becoming the kind of person who attracts the success, the happiness, and the life you desire. Because in 5 years, you'll arrive somewhere. The question is, will it be a place of growth, achievement, and fulfillment? Or will it be the same place you are today? The choice is yours. Facing challenges, how to overcome and stay on track. Let me tell you something about challenges. They are not interruptions in the path. They are the path. Every person who has ever achieved greatness, every single one, has faced obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. It's part of the process. The question is not whether you'll face challenges. The question is how you'll respond when they come. Here's the truth. Challenges are not there to stop you. They're there to strengthen you. They're there to test your commitment, to push you to grow, and to make you more resilient. Think of challenges as weights in the gym of life. The more you lift them, the stronger you become. Now, let's talk about the mindset you need to face challenges. The first thing to understand is that challenges are temporary. They may feel overwhelming in the moment, but they don't last forever. The key is to stay focused on the bigger picture. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Will this setback define me? Or will I use it as a stepping stone to something greater? Here's a principle I want you to remember. Every problem has a solution. It may not be obvious at first. It may require time, effort, and creativity to find it. But if you stay persistent, the solution will reveal itself. Sometimes the solution is simple. Other times it requires you to grow, to learn, or to adapt. But it's always there. Let me share another important idea. Challenges often come disguised as opportunities. You might not see it right away, but every obstacle has a lesson hidden within it. The key is to ask the right questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this? How can this make me better?" You see, life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. The challenges we face are not punishments, they are gifts. They're opportunities to prove to yourself just how strong, capable, and determined you are. Now, I know it's easy to feel discouraged when things aren't going your way. But let me remind you, you are stronger than you think. Human beings have an incredible capacity for resilience. Think back to a time when you faced a challenge and overcame it. Remember how it felt to push through, to keep going when it would have been easier to give up? That strength is still within you. One of the most powerful tools for overcoming challenges is perspective. When you're in the middle of a tough situation, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. That's why it's so important to step back and remind yourself of your goals. Remember why you started. Remember what you're working toward. Let me give you a practical strategy for staying on track when you're facing challenges. Break it down. Sometimes a challenge feels overwhelming because we're looking at the whole mountain instead of the next step. Focus on what you can do today, right now, to move forward. Small steps add up to big progress. Another key to overcoming challenges is surrounding yourself with the right people. When you're going through a tough time, the voices around you matter. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who encourage you, and who remind you of your potential. And if you don't have those people in your life right now, seek them out. Read books, listen to motivational talks, and fill your mind with positive, empowering messages. Let me remind you of this. Challenges are where growth happens. You don't grow when everything is easy. You grow when you're stretched, when you're pushed, and when you're tested. It's in those moments of struggle that you discover what you're truly capable of. Here's one final thought. Every challenge you face is preparing you for the future. The lessons you learn, the skills you develop, and the strength you gain will serve you in ways you can't even imagine. In 5 years, you'll look back on the challenges you're facing today and realize they were stepping stones to your greatest successes. So, when challenges come, and they will, don't shrink back. Don't let them defeat you. Face them head-on with courage, determination, and faith in yourself. Remember, the path to success is not a straight line. It's a journey filled with twists, turns, and obstacles. But every step, no matter how difficult, brings you closer to your goals. Keep going. Keep growing. Because the person you're becoming is worth it. And the future you're building will be one worth celebrating. Consistency is key. Small steps, big results. Let me tell you, success is not built in a day. It's not about grand gestures or occasional spurts of effort. No, success is built through consistent daily action. It's about doing the little things over and over again until they become habits. And those habits, compounded over time, lead to extraordinary results. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can something so small make such a big difference? Well, here's the secret. Small steps don't just add up, they multiply. Think about it like planting seeds. You don't plant one seed today and expect a full-grown tree tomorrow. No. You water it, nurture it, and give it sunlight day after day. Over time, that tiny seed becomes a towering tree. That's the power of consistency. Let me give you an example. Imagine you decide to read for 20 minutes a day. That doesn't seem like much, does it? But over the course of a year, those 20 minutes a day add up to over 120 hours of reading. That's enough time to read 15 to 20 books. Imagine how much knowledge, inspiration, and growth you could gain from that, all because of a simple, consistent habit. Here's the key. Consistency builds momentum. At first, it might feel like you're not making much progress. The results may not be visible right away. But as you keep going, you start to see the compound effect. The small steps you take each day start to snowball. And suddenly, you're moving faster and achieving more than you ever thought possible. But here's where many people get stuck. They start strong, full of motivation and excitement. But when the results don't come quickly, they give up. They think, this isn't working. But the truth is, they didn't stick with it long enough to see the payoff. Consistency requires patience. It's about playing the long game. Let me tell you something else about consistency. It builds discipline. And discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. When you commit to doing something every day, whether you feel like it or not, you're training yourself to be disciplined. You're strengthening your ability to follow through. And that discipline spills over into other areas of your life. Now, let's talk about how to stay consistent. The first step is to start small. Don't try to change everything all at once. Pick 1 or 2 habits that will move you closer to your goals and focus on those. Remember, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about making progress, no matter how small. Another key to consistency is accountability. Tell someone about your goals. Share your progress. When you know someone else is watching, it's easier to stay on track. And if you don't have someone to hold you accountable, be your own accountability partner. Write down your goals, track your progress, and celebrate your wins. Here's another principle to remember. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. You're going to have days when you slip up. That's okay. What matters is that you don't let one bad day turn into a bad week, a bad month, or a bad year. Get back on track as quickly as you can and keep moving forward. Now let me ask you this. What's one small thing you can do every day to move closer to your goals? Maybe it's making 1 extra sales call. Maybe it's spending 15 minutes exercising. Maybe it's writing down 3 things you're grateful for. Whatever it is, commit to it. And then do it consistently. Let me tell you a story to drive this point home. There was a man who wanted to get in shape. He didn't start by running marathons or lifting heavy weights. He started by walking to the end of his driveway. That's it. Just a short walk every day. But he kept at it. Over time, he started walking longer distances. Then he began jogging. Eventually, he was running miles every day. All because he started with one small, consistent action. You see, the key to achieving big results is not to overwhelm yourself with massive changes. It's to focus on the small, manageable steps you can take each day. Because those small steps, done consistently, will lead to the big changes you're looking for. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not exciting, but it works. And if you commit to being consistent, if you commit to showing up every day, putting in the effort, and staying the course, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. So start today. Take 1 small step, and then take another tomorrow, and the day after that. Because success is not about doing something once in a while. It's about doing the right things every single day. And if you do that, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. Living with purpose, aligning your goals with your values. Let me ask you something important. What's driving you? What's the reason behind your goals? You see, it's not enough to set goals. Those goals must align with your values, your purpose, your vision, your reason for being. Without that alignment, success can feel hollow. Success without purpose is like climbing a ladder, only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall. But when your goals align with your values, every step you take feels meaningful. Every accomplishment is fulfilling because it resonates with who you truly are. Living with purpose begins with self-awareness. You have to take a step back and ask yourself, what do I stand for? What truly matters to me? Is it family? Is it making a difference in the world? Is it creativity, adventure, or helping others? When you're clear on your values, decision-making becomes easier. You know where to focus your time and energy. Here's the truth. Purpose creates power. It gives you a reason to push through the hard times. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, obstacles become smaller. Challenges feel less intimidating. Your purpose becomes your compass, guiding you even when the road is unclear. Now, I want to share something important. Living with purpose doesn't mean the journey will be easy. In fact, sometimes it will feel harder because your standards are higher. But here's the difference. The hard work feels worth it. When your actions align with your purpose, even the struggles become meaningful. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone whose goal is to build wealth. If their purpose is simply to have more money, they might feel empty when they achieve it. But if their purpose is to use that wealth to create opportunities for their family, support causes they believe in, or leave a legacy, then every dollar earned carries meaning. Purpose also gives you focus. There are so many distractions in life, so many paths you could take. But when you know your purpose, it's like having a North Star. It keeps you on track. It helps you say no to the things that don't matter, so you can say yes to the things that do. Here's something else to remember. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just has to be authentic. Maybe your purpose is to be the best parent you can be. Maybe it's to bring joy to others through your art. Maybe it's to grow a small business that serves your community. Whatever it is, embrace it fully. Let me share a story about a man who worked as a janitor. On the surface, it might seem like an ordinary, even unremarkable job. But this man took great pride in his work. His purpose was to create a clean and welcoming environment for the people in his building. He believed that by doing his job well, he was contributing to the well-being of everyone who passed through those doors. And because of that purpose, he approached his work with passion and excellence. That's the power of purpose. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Now, let's talk about how to align your goals with your values. First, take the time to reflect on what matters most to you. Write it down. Be specific. Then, look at your goals. Ask yourself, do these goals reflect my values? Are they moving me closer to the life I want to live? If the answer is no, it's time to reevaluate. Next, break your goals down into actionable steps. Purpose is important, but it's not enough on its own. You have to pair it with action. Every step you take should bring you closer to your purpose. Here's another key point. Share your purpose with others. Talk about it with your family, your friends, your team. When you articulate your purpose, it becomes more real. It also inspires those around you. Purpose is contagious. When people see you living with purpose, it encourages them to do the same. Living with purpose is not just about achieving your goals, it's about how you achieve them. It's about the person you become along the way. When your goals align with your values, you're not just working towards success, you're working towards fulfillment. And that's what makes the journey worthwhile. So, ask yourself, am I living with purpose? Are my goals aligned with my values? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is no, take the time to realign. Because when you live with purpose, every step you take is a step in the right direction. Let me leave you with one final thought. The next 5 years of your life are entirely up to you. You see, the future is not something you wait for, it's something you create. Each choice you make, each action you take, is shaping the person you will become. The question is, are you intentional about it? Are you living with purpose? Are you designing a life that reflects your highest values and deepest desires? Now here's the beauty of it. You don't have to change everything overnight. Success doesn't require monumental leaps. It requires consistent steps in the right direction. It's the little things you do every day that will shape your destiny. Take a moment to picture it. 5 years from now, what will your life look like? Will you be healthier, wealthier, and wiser? Will you have stronger relationships, greater achievements, and deeper fulfillment? Or will it be the same as it is today? That's your decision to make. But let me tell you something I know for sure. The time is going to pass anyway. 5 years will come and go whether you plan for them or not. So why not use this time wisely? Why not set goals that matter? Why not live with purpose? Take action and create the future you've always dreamed of. And remember, it won't always be easy. There will be challenges. There will be moments of doubt. But if you stay focused, if you stay disciplined, and if you stay true to your purpose, you'll overcome them. You'll look back on this journey and realize that every struggle was worth it. So, here's my challenge to you. Start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because there is no perfect moment. Take the first step, no matter how small. Write down your vision, set your goals, build your habits, and start creating the life you deserve. Because 5 years from now, when you look back on this moment, you'll be glad you did. You'll thank yourself for having the courage to dream big, the discipline to work hard, and the wisdom to live with purpose. Let me leave you with this. You are capable of extraordinary things. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to start. So make that decision today. Take control of your future, because the next 5 years are yours to create. Thank you, and I'll see you at the top.